Welcome to Lesson 5, Other Strategies for Multiplication. In this lesson, we're going to learn about a couple of strategies that are going to help you multiply. So let's begin with an example. So let's say I wanted to multiply 64 by 5. 5 people put $64 each into a prize bag. We want to figure out how much money we have altogether. So a lot of people like to write the multiplication like this. So we begin by first multiplying 4 times 5. So we take the 5, multiply it by 4, and we get 20. Now we're not going to write the entire 20, we're just going to put the 0 here and the 2 up here. Next we're going to multiply 6 times 5. So we're going to multiply diagonally, 5 times 6. That makes 30, and if I add the 2 to 30, I get 32. So the answer to 64 times 5 is 320. Here are two examples I'd like you to try using the strategy we just used. Try 43 times 2 and 56 times 3. Pause the video and come back once you have answers for both your questions. So for 43 times 2, the first thing we do is 2 times 3, and we know that equals to 6. And then we go diagonally and do 2 times 4, and we know that 2 times 4 makes 8. So the answer to 43 times 2 is 86. When we do 56 times 3, we begin with 3 times 6, and we know that 3 times 6 makes 18, so I put the 8 down here, the 1 up here. Then I multiply diagonally. 3 times 5 makes 15, plus I add what was left over before, so 15 and 1 makes 16. So the answer to 56 times 3 is 168. So let's look at another strategy. So now we're going to use another strategy to multiply 72 times 6. First, what I'm going to do is break my 72 down into two numbers that make it up. So 72 is the same as 70 plus 2. Next, I'm simply going to multiply 70 times 6 and 2 times 6. So when I multiply them, 6 times 0 makes 0, and 6 times 7 makes 42. And 2 times 6, I know, makes 12. So now I've got my 70 times 6 equals 420, and 2 times 6 equals 12. Once I put those two together, I add them up, I will have the answer to 72 times 6. So if I add them up, I get 0 plus 2 equals 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and then the 4 drops down for a grand total of 432. So one of the strategies we looked at today was the traditional method, the method that a lot of people like to use, where you simply take your number 5, you multiply it by 4, you get 20, 0 goes here, 2 goes up there, 5 times 6 makes 30, plus 2, 32. So 64 times 5 makes 320. And the other method we looked at, we'll call it the break it down into two multiplications method. So in this one, we take our number, our big number here, 72, and we break it down into 70 and 2. And so we get two multiplications. 70 times 6, in this case, makes 420, and 2 times 6 makes 12. We add up our two answers together for our total, which in this example was 432. These are not the only two methods to use for multiplication. Please use any method that works for you. As long as it gets you the right answer, it's a good method to use. So have fun multiplying.